Talk Show, everybody. Amber Theoharis along with James Jones as the Raiders have a crucial matchup against the Patriots at home at Allegiant Stadium. JJ, this is a big one. The Patriots are sitting in the 7th spot, so they have a playoff spot right now. But the Raiders, their hopes are hanging on.
Hanging on, and we got to go get them, right? We got to go get them. We right there. Hey, we just got to find a way to win a ball game. And what's the best way to do it when you got your teacher coming in the building and you about to teach him, you coming in our building, and we get a W. And then, listen, you don't even want to look at all this if you Raider fans and you Raider Nation, because once you win one, a lot of this stuff changes, and we're going to have even brighter hopes. So we're going to be all right.
They're sitting in the 11th spot at 5-8 They could have been 6-7. That Rams loss really hurt. When you look at those standings, they could have been right around the 8th spot, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. They are where they are. They got to win every single game.
Find a way to win.
And as you mentioned, it is the mentor versus the pupil. Josh McDaniels taking on Bill Belichick. And Josh McDaniels, he's beaten him once, by the way.
There you go.
As head coach of the Denver Broncos. 11-11. That is the record of former Belichick coaches against him, so about 500. So this matchup's going to be interesting, and it's really about the offense of Josh McDaniels versus the defense of the Raiders, because, of the Patriots, because that is their strength.
Yes, and you're seeing takeaways right now, but the formula to having a good defense, right, is getting after the quarterback and creating takeaways. And this is exactly what this defense does, right? They get the ball back to their offense, and they put people in bad situations, long down and distance, with getting after the quarterback with Judon and those boys coming to get you sacking the quarterback. And that is what they've been doing, and that is why they are sitting there with a playoff spot right now, strictly because of their defense. Their offense is not helping them none. Their defense is keeping them in every ball game and winning every ball game.
85 points the Patriots defense has scored. 85 points off of turnovers, and they have 5 defensive touchdowns, by the way. And look at their defensive rankings. They're 6th in overall defense. They're 5th in scoring defense, and third down efficiency. 39%. That's not super low.
Oh, that's stingy,
not super low. It's stingy. But right now, the Raiders have been converting on offense on third down about a little over 30% of the time. So we'll see how that matches up.
Oh, that's going to be a chess match.
It is going to be a chess match. But the Patriots pass rush, you mentioned Matt Judon in those highlights. Yeah. The pass rush is pretty tough. And the offensive line for the Raiders is banged up. Alex Barr is not expected to play, so this could be a mismatch.
Yes, and it's a mismatch every game Judon goes into, because that's the type of football he's playing right now. We got to give respect where respect's due. I mean, he's leading the National Football League in sacks for a reason. You cannot block him one-on-one. He is relentless. He kind of reminds you of a guy over here that we got in Mad Max Crosby that just keeps playing the game. He is never out of the play with his effort, and that is a reason why he is leading the league in sacks. He is a big, big problem. So if you are a running back, whoever's back there, whether it's Josh Jacobs, whoever, we have to make sure we're chipping this guy and not letting him go in. And he got his little brother Uche on the other side too, that's not doing that bad. As you can see, the numbers coming in there, getting after the quarterback as well.
Yeah, he was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He's had 10 sacks in his last 5 games. Uche has. So while everybody's focusing on Matthew Judon, Josh Uche has had big games. Also, Christian Barmore, we don't know if he's going to play the big defensive tackle for the Patriots. The Patriots' defensive line has been very tough even without him. If he comes back, he's going to draw double teams, and that allows for Matthew Judon and Uche to do what they do. So for Raiders fans, hoping that he doesn't play. All right, so the Patriots do a good job. This is what Bill Belichick does. They eliminate your number one threat. And I think right now, if you look at this offense, you kind of have to choose between Josh Jacobs or Devontae Adams.
Oh, no, you don't got to choose. It's Josh Jacobs.
You got to stop Josh Jacobs first?
Yeah, off the bus, you got to stop Josh. If you don't, you lose.
All right, well, let's take a look at what they have done against number 1 receivers. They've held 3 of the top receivers in the league to under 100 yards. And I think most defenses will take that. If Stephon Diggs only has 92 yards, that's a pretty good day at work.
Absolutely.
But you can see Justin Jefferson, who's just on fire, 139 yards against the Patriots. So perhaps this could be a big day for Devontae Adams.
Yeah. They don't stand no chance against D.A., right? We're going to move D.A. all over the field. We're going to make sure D.A. getting involved in this offense. And like we said, when you're getting off the bus saying you got to stop Josh, right? You can't stop both of them. D.A. is going to have a big day, and he's going to ball out. I'm looking for a lot of targets, a lot of opportunities, because the ball has to come out of your hands fast too, right? We just talked about the pass rush. So one thing that we need to be working on here right now in Las Vegas is Derek Carr getting the ball out of his hands fast. We have the best wide receiver at getting open immediately, and that is Davante Adams. And that's what's going to happen. Ball come out your hands fast, no sacks, DA, big game, yak yardage after the catch. Showtime!
By the way, he does need to have more than 0 receptions in the second half, which he had against the Rams. Can't get away from him.
He better.
Don't know what happened in that game, but he has to have more targets than he had in the second half than last week. A lot of respect for the defense, the Patriots' defense, in facing Davante Adams. Here's what Devin McCourty had to say.
He's a challenge to everybody. I think his ability to understand route concepts, and I think the hardest challenge with him is how he runs routes. He understands what guys read, what they know about how you set up routes, and he does the opposite. Sometimes he does it. So, and I think his change of pace and speed make him a real tough cover. And, you know, Josh is using him in so many different places that it's hard to, you know, just say, like, we're going to do this when he's here. Like, he's in the slot, he's at number 3, he's at 1, he's backside at X, he's front side at the Z. Like, he's just all over the place.
So is he really, does he disguise his routes, or is he just creative?
You know what? That makes me smile right there, because as he's talking right there, he like, I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know where he is. I don't know what's
all
gonna
over
happen.
the place. We're not going to be able to stop him. Josh moving him all over the place. But, yes, he's right. That is why Davante Adams is special. You've seen it last week against Ramsey, right? You've seen some of the late hands. You've seen some of the change of pace in his routes. And Davante is really good at making you think one thing and doing the other. And sometimes even if you think he's not going to do it, he's going to do it. That's what makes him so special. And it don't matter if he's in the slot. It don't matter if he's outside. Change your pace. Let's go to work. Route running, press coverage. Good luck. Hold on. And you get up there sounding like that in the interviews. Like, we just go try to slow
going
him
into
down.
it, but we'll see. He's a good defensive back.
Yeah.
All right, when you look at this offense of the Raiders, it is such a dynamic duo. We keep talking about Josh Jacobs and Davante Adams, but combined, they are responsible for 61.3% of this offense, just those two players. You have to pick one. You said maybe you pick Josh to stop, but then you've got Davante. Josh Jacobs, though, got the ultimate respect from his teammates. Just this week, the other captains got together and they mandated that he also be a captain, which he has not been this year for the last 4 games, so he will be wearing the C on his chest.
That's big time. And one thing about playing in the National Football League, beyond the money, right, it's the respect of your peers. That's why everybody go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on this top 100. How I'm not here? How I'm not? Because the respect of your peers is everything. I remember when they put the C on my chest, right? I'm not joking either.
You were a captain. No, I learned the hard way, yes.
They put the C on my
chest.
It's the ultimate honor. It's the ultimate respect from your teammates. And for your teammates to get together middle of the season and say, this dude deserves that C on his chest. That's big time.
He's going to have a big game with that C on his chest. I feel like it. By the way, you did lead the league in touchdowns. I still feel bad about that one. Coming up next, Josh McDaniels going up against Mac Jones. He was his offensive coordinator last year. The Silver and Black Show is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. 1800, the best taste in tequila and official partner of the Raiders.
Jones, step, dials up, deep ball. Oh, what a catch! Nelson Aguilar, spectacular! Touchdown, New England.
High completion percentage, like always. I did that in college. Very accurate passer. It's hard to trick him. You know, he sees the field very well. He sees the defense. So you can try to disguise as much as you can, but for a young player, he's very smart and adept at identifying what you're going to try to do after the ball snaps. So heady guy. We're going to have to try to do a good job of mixing some things up and keep him off balance a little bit. But, you know, those screen passes, those short throws, they got a lot of guys that can catch and run.
Coach McDaniels definitely knows Mac Jones. He coached him. He was his offensive coordinator his rookie season, which was last season. And there's no doubt Mac Jones has almost taken a step back in his second year. He's not had as good of a year. And you can see it in the numbers through 10 games in 2021 versus through 10 games. That's how many he's played in. Because remember, there was Bailey Zappi in for a little bit in 2022. Not as many touchdown passes, 6 less. More interceptions. Quarterback rating is down and not throwing as many passing yards per game. And You know, we saw him yelling at his coach, Matt Patricia, who is the offensive coordinator now, which is still weird to me because he's a defensive guy. But this offense just hasn't been in sync.
No, and he's not taking any chances down the football field, and that is why they're throwing a lot of screen passes and all that. But you look at the QB percentage, right, and that's down, right? That's letting me know that you are getting tricked a little bit by defenses, or it may be you and your offensive coordinator are not on the same page. Josh McDaniels had him playing at a high level, maybe seeing things a little bit better. When you turn on the tape and you watch him play football this season, he's not seeing a lot of this stuff like he was seeing last year. So we can definitely trick him a little bit and get after him.
The screen pass is a major part of their offense. 18% of the plays are screen passes. That's the fourth highest in the NFL. So, JJ, how do you defend if you're the Raiders against the screen pass?
Well, number one, it starts with the linebackers, right? Our linebackers antenna has to be up, right? We watch a film all week. We know the pass rush is coming. We know that Mad Max, Chandler Jones, and those guys are coming. They cannot pass rush saying, here come the screen game. The linebackers, you are accounted for the running backs. You have to be ready for the screen game. You see plays like this of getting these balls out to the running backs. These linebackers have to be there to make plays. If they're not there to make plays, they're going to be chunk plays like this. I was at the game when the Cardinals played the Patriots, and if Xavier Collins and Simmons don't make some tackles in the open field, these screen games are going to even go for longer games. So our linebackers, that is the key to stopping the screen game. They got to come downhill. They got to make sure that they're playing some coverage, making sure that they're not falling asleep when these screen plays are coming, because you see a lot of the trickery. Fake reverse, screen pass this way. You know, fake reverse that way, screen pass it back that way. So it's a lot of trickery. Our linebackers' antennas have to be up to make sure that they don't get chunk plays out of those screen games.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk about the best pass rusher in the NFL, according to many, Max Crosby. I sit down with him to talk about his life and love of football next. I'm here with Raiders Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby, the Condor. Is that a name that you like, a nickname that you like?
Yeah, I like it, you know, because I got a lot of respect for Brian Baldinger. He's the one who came up with it. And it's funny, the fan base just kind of stuck with it, and I feel like it just works. So, yeah, I got a bunch of nicknames, I feel like. So I just embrace them. I
mean, the wingspan does stand out. How long is the wingspan? It does look like a condor, so I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it kind of started when I was a rookie and I was a little bit skinnier, so my arms looked even longer than they actually were. So, yeah, I don't know. You know, the wingspan, all that. Like, I don't have, like, crazy long arms or anything like that, but I feel like, I don't know, when I watch myself, my arms seem just like...
They're always going.
Yeah,
that's why. They're just always going.
They're just there, yeah. They
well,
stand out.
You mentioned Baldy, who's a friend of mine, too.
Yeah.
He said this about you on Twitter, quote, pure kinetic energy, plays every snap, every game. Some players just love it more than everyone else. Is it that simple to describe you?
You know, I appreciate his words. I can't, I'm not going to be my own hype man, but, like, there's literally nothing on earth I'd rather be doing. I don't take a day for granted. I've been through a lot, so, being out there playing football, like, I don't look at it as, like, I'm at work. Everybody is, has their own ways to get motivated, and, like, for me, like, I've been through hell and back, like I said, so when I get to play the game I love and I'm playing it at the best that I've ever played in my life, just from the work I've been putting in every year and getting better and better. So I'm just enjoying it more and more every day, and I absolutely love it. It's incredible.
To put it in Vegas terms, you're playing with house money at this point, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Coming out of high school in Texas, only one college made you an offer? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Eastern Michigan. So you go to Eastern Michigan, you play, and then fast forward to last week, Hall of Famer Charles Woodson tweeted that you should be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. You ever think that you would be here?
Honestly, I've always believed in my ability, but I never knew where it would take me. Honestly, it's crazy because a lot of people ask me the same question, like, what does it feel like, after I got my contract? Like, how does it feel you doing this? And, like, for me, like, it's an everyday process. So I don't try to look too far in the future. I don't look too far in the past. I just continuously get better every single day, and I try to improve, and good things keep coming. So I really haven't had the time to really sit back and look at it. But it's just incredible. It's not like I'm surprised, but I'm just blessed, just to be able to stay healthy and be in a position where I can maximize, my abilities. And I feel like I got so much room to grow. But, I feel like I'm definitely going in the right direction. And a guy like Charles Woodson saying that, he's a living legend. So I got a ton of respect for him. And, I agree with his opinions. So, yeah, big shout out to him.
Wilson stands up straight. Now he leans towards the line, gets the snap. Raiders bring a blitz. He takes up off the middle, and he's wrapped up from behind. Guess who? Max Crosby with the sack as he races over to the far sideline. His 8th sack of the season.
I want to go back to what you said. You mentioned you've been through hell and back, and you were quoted in Sports Illustrated as saying, quote, "I'm proud of the person I've become." You've been very transparent about everything you've been through, about ending your dependency on alcohol. You've had 2 Pro Bowl caliber seasons in a row back-to-back here. And then just weeks ago, you become a father for the first time. What is the number one thing that you want Ella Rose, which is a beautiful name, by the way,
Thank you.
what is the number one thing that you want Ella Rose to know about you when she grows up? Not you as a football player, but you as a person.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Obviously football is great, but I want her to have a leader, somebody she can look up to and see what hard work can do for you. Setting an example for your kid is everything. And I want to be that every single day. My motivation, I already had a ton of motivation before she got here. And now that she's here, it just gives me more. It gives me more inspiration to, be the best version of myself, because I have somebody that's going to be looking up to me and watching every move and seeing how I operate. So if I can, pass that down to her and, be an inspiration for her, that'll be, everything I can ever ask for.
I love to see everybody congratulating you in the NFL world. Micah Parsons, did you see he tweeted congratulations to you on the birth of your child?
Yeah.
I wonder, when you're 2 of the best pass rushers in the NFL, do you guys just automatically kind of become friends? You're like, hey, bro, we both like smashing quarterbacks. Let's be cool. How do you just become friends, or you support each other?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because last week, speaking of Micah, I'm sitting at home, we had the Thursday game and they were about to play on Sunday. And he was wearing a shirt, with me on it, with my name and stuff. And it's it's just respect, when you're at the top of what you do, and you see the guys, you aspire to be like, and then you start becoming in that range, you have a ton of respect for him. Von Miller took me under his wing, and I never met the guy anything. And then once we met, we clicked right away. And I talked to Von all the time, just because we understand what it takes to get to the, to the top of, the NFL. It's not, it takes a lot of work, and I think it's just a respect thing. Micah, Von, Chandler, before I got to link up with Chandler and he came here, me and Chandler talked all the time. So, yeah, it's just kind of like a big family. We meet up in the off season and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, I think it's just, it's respect for people's game.
The Silver and Black Show has been brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Chevron with Techron gives you unbeatable cleaning and mileage. Chevron, together ahead.
Max Crosby, Eastern Michigan, 780,000. Baby girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you, let me buy you a drink. I'm T-Pain, you know me. Convict music, nappy boy, ooh-wee. I'ma buy you a drink. Let me take it home with me. I got money in the bank. Shawty, what you think like that? Find me in the gray Cadillac. We in the bed like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, me in the bed.
Oh, the Raiders are feeling it back at T-Pain. You were doing the whole T-Pain dance, too. T-Pain is going to be the halftime performance at Allegiant Stadium on Sunday against the Patriots. And that, of course, was a few years ago, the Rookie Talent Show, where you have to get up and perform. And T-Pain was the choice of Max Crosby.
And go ahead and get it, Max. I like it.
I love it. He had a little swag. All right, so this is a game where a lot of familiar faces because, of course, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, former Patriots. A lot of the players are former Patriots. Look how many players on the Raiders roster once played for the Patriots. So this is blood. This is like family. This is one of those rivalries where you know each other. and you want to beat each other because of that. So this is going to be a heck of a matchup to watch. But one of the things the Raiders are going to have to do is be better in the red zone. Red zone offense has been a big problem for the Raiders, and they're one of the worst in the NFL, 29th in the red zone. They went 1 for 4 last week against the Rams. How do you get better at red zone offense?
So this is one thing I know about red zone offense, right? Because I done had my share of struggles in the red zone as well, too. Red zone offense is not about schemes. It's not about getting in the best play you could get in. It's not about trying to out-scheme people and out-trick people. It's about getting your best players the football and letting them go up and make plays, getting them into one-on-one situations. So when we're in the red zone, our best player on the offensive side of the ball in the red zone is either Josh Jacobs or Devontae Adams. Give them the football. Don't try to get tricky. Don't try to scheme and do all these different screen passes and all that. In the red zone, when you are struggling, you find your best player and you say, go make a play. You're making some big-time money to make big-time plays. You put the ball in their hands. That's how you put points up in the red zone.
And this is just a little opinion here. You shouldn't be targeting Mac Hollins. Why weren't you targeting Devontae Adams?
That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at.
The ball should be going one place, and that should be Devontae Adams in the red zone. And again, this is what's at stake. Here's the AFC playoff picture. Las Vegas Raiders right now at 5-8, sitting there at 11, not mathematically eliminated yet. There is a chance. A lot of other things would need to happen, but it needs to start with a win against the Patriots. And the Patriots are fighting for their playoff lives. They're sitting right there at the very final wild card spot at 7-6. If we go back to the red zone, the Patriots' red zone defense is top 10.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough matchup.
Very, very stingy, right? So that even don't think a lot because they're going to get you.
Yeah. All right, so it's Josh McDaniels, it's Bill Belichick. Raiders looking for a win back home at Allegiant Stadium for James Jones. I'm Amber Theoharis. We'll see you coming up on Raiders Game Day after the game, after the win, of course.
There we go.